Welcome back on Dyno Mode. Today I want to propose you a video about my failure Rhino. Failure is its name, so not worry about it. It's simply because I bought this Rhino as a used one, so I used this Rhino to create all my experiments. When I had to test something, I test on it before than anything else. So pay attention, because it's not that you had to do, but it's only a summary of the amount of changing and trying that I have done on my different vehicles. But those ones has been correct. This one has been done in the way that I have yet tried everything that I could try. I tried on this one. So now we can see how I modified it in these years, because are quite some years that I have it, and so I decided to bring a video about to make a sort of elucidating of it, because I really loved. The first thing that we can see is this searchlight that I modified in such way, because I had a problem with this hole, that it was not cut good. I mean that it was completely full of glue and so on, and wasn't able to free it completely. So I decided to create this base, as you can see here, made by a bus ticket, but it's quite solid, and here I glued the searchlight. So it's something that I like, because being a modifying can be really quite simple to create, and I think that it can be really quite useful also for other changing and so on. In fact, I created also another model using these ones. I modified the model in such a way, and this it's something that I suggest you to remember, because this simple modifying can be really quite interesting one. Here we can see my first experiments about using the grid stuff for molding, having some duplicating and so on. I used this one because I wanted to make an understanding how it behaved on the plastic and so on, and we can see that I had quite a lot of options to use about using this grid stuff. It's the same technique that I used for the blue stuff. Simply the grid stuff, it's much more difficult to blend to your usage, because it risks to glue the part that you want to copy. So pay attention about using such thing. Obviously these details about this damage and so on are done by polishing it from the buy-in, because it was really in awful condition, this Rhino. But I love this one, and so I decided to create such, because it was a sort of the battle damage, so I decided that it was worth to keep it in such a way. Then we can see an experiment that I've done with these outdoors, that is this design. It's one of my experiments about using such technique. So what I've done, I created a printing of an image that I liked. I glued with the paper, as you can see, on the doors itself, and then pay attention, I cut the design around here. In such a way I was able to make that the design itself was nice, and so I was able, even with the closed door, to use an image that was personalized, because I was not able to paint in such detail. Obviously you have to pay attention to copyright and so on, but if it's a model and so on, it's not a problem. So it's simply a usage on your personal one. You don't have to sell it, at least. But I like the result, because when close the doors, I think that it's really nice. This scene is about Sanguinius against Cabanda, that is the main demon of the Corn that the Blood Angels and Sanguinius in particular battle against. So I love this scene, and I wanted to have a Rhino with this on. So I really loved this one. And a recent modifying that I realized, it's the magnetizing of the door themselves, using magnets 2x2 cylinder ones to put in these doors. They are really quite nice, because they let me to do this trick that you can see here and here. So the doors are firm and I can change them with other options. And as you can see, they are really quite nice. Obviously, it doesn't close perfect because this model has not been perfect on the base itself, so it was not possible to create a perfect closing. But I like to keep it half opened, so it was not a problem. Eventually, you can try also to magnetize these parts of the doors in the way that they can close magnetically. But I do not suggest you to do such a thing because I think that it's not useful. But anyway, it's an option that you have. This, anyway, if you have magnets here, you have also to have magnets in another side. And the magnets are here, inside here. For here, I realized again holes of 2 mm, diameter one, and there are magnets of 2x2 cylinder ones. Simply, I don't suggest you to use bigger magnets, because there is otherwise a problem, and it's that, as you can see, you have not a lot of space to drill. So if you use a 3 mm, I think that it will not be so good. So I think that 2x2 mm ones are perfect for such a thing. They are not something that can avoid you something, and at the same time it let you have quite a nice option that it's not invasive too much. So they work because if you see this way to play the magnets, it's quite nice because we have a vertical magnet inside here and an horizontal one inside here. They work perfectly. You have only to pay quite a lot of attention to the versus of the magnets themselves, because you have to pay attention where you put these ones, because otherwise you have a problem about their rejecting each other and so on. So you have to pay quite attention to the standards to put these magnets on the vehicles. But I think that it's really quite nice to have them, and I think that the effect that I realize it's really amazing one. And then we can see what happens opening the doors, because also the door are magnetizing here, and we can see this effect. It's the same effect that I've done before, so 2x2 mm ones inside here and inserted inside so. And here, as you can see, other types of magnets that are again the 2x2 mm ones, but horizontally, so they can keep quite a nice effort. Obviously, I personalize also this door with this imaging, so it's one that I taken and realized with the blue stuff and so on, so to make an option. And you can see the difference between this imaging and this imaging, this with blue stuff and green stuff, and this green stuff against green stuff. So you can see that there is quite a lot of difference, and I realized the same also here. So it's really quite interesting in the way that you can open the doors without any problem at all. So we can keep off the doors and start to see the next step too. And the next magnetization is about here, that you can see magnets of 3x2 mm, 3 of diameter and 2 mm of depth. Why I done such a thing? Because I don't always play a Rhino, but also here and here. So we have the lateral sponsons available, so I can use them for other options. So really a nice magnetizing in this way, so that we can change the upper part, for example, putting this here, so we can make it become a predator, or we can remove these ones, put on the door and make it a resobit with changing the turret and so on. So it's a way to have a quite a lot personalized one. Obviously about this you have to change also this part, but it's not a problem at all, because you can use the trick that I told you before in the case, but they are really quite useful ones. So we can remove and say about another option that you can eventually think about to personalize such a Rhino. There are other modifiers that you can try. You can, for example, magnetize here if you have not yet glued this part on here. You can magnetize this in the way that you can change it, or in the way that you can have, for example, if you want to play a indicator, you can make it that the magnet goes here on it. And the trick about the searchlight, it's quite worthy, because you can close, for example, with a magnet the part about the vindicator weapon that you use, and so put on it. So this can create a surface with the hole that the weapon of the vindicator has. So it's quite nice in that way. Or another options is to magnetize here. So to create a hole here on the side of the upper side of the door, and another hole here, or you can use this step eventually, so that when you close, doesn't have the problem to open moving the model, that it opens suddenly this one. So it's another way to create. Other option that you can have, it's magnetizing here. So the bottom part of this one, of this part, the upper part, that I done such a thing in my radars, but not here. And so you can modify, for example, you can add a single use missile launcher, you can add other options, so you can use it, make some models, some magnets, and so on. You can make some option available, simply put a magnet under here in the right position. So pay attention of such thing. Or eventually you can make that you can drill a hole where you need, and then I suggest anyway to make a cover after you drilled with something like some details, or simply some little amount of green stuff, but simply to create your own personalization. So I think that these ones can be quite nice option to create your own version. Obviously it's up to you decide if to use one of such tricks or all of such tricks. This is up to you decide which one is better for you to play with. So I hope that you like this video, because I wanted to bring this model to make you understand that sometimes having a model to test all the things on, it's really quite useful. Here you've also seen one of my ways to make the opening doors, that it's this system, that it's with orthogonal magnets, but I have realized also other options. So for example, I bring you also in the future a video about my land radars where I have another type of opening, and I'm also trying also other options to have the opening doors. So it's a way to experiment and to share with you my experiments about magnetizing and so on. So I hope that you liked such video, because this failure, this my Rhino, it's a way that make me understand how to magnetize, and so it's a way to make you understand that sometimes it's really quite nice to have fun trying something completely new. So, from Dyno Mode, it's everything. I invite you to put a like on this video, to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell, and to comment this video if you are interested in something about this video, or you want to suggest me some arguments for other videos. I hope to see you again to the next time.